The next great AI breakthrough may not be stopped by a lack of chips, money, or ideas. It may be stopped by something far more basic: electricity. Behind every chatbot answer, generated video, and autonomous machine is a physical factory filled with processors that never sleep. Those factories are multiplying so quickly that, in parts of the world, the grid cannot keep up. The companies building artificial intelligence are now searching for power plants, gas turbines, nuclear reactors, and entire regions with spare electricity. For years, Silicon Valley told us that the future would live in the cloud. But the cloud has a power cable, and that cable may decide who wins the AI race. When you type a question into an AI model, the experience feels almost weightless. Words appear on a screen. No smoke, no moving parts, no visible fuel. Yet the response is created inside one of the most energy-intensive machines ever assembled. An AI data center is not simply a warehouse full of ordinary computers. Thousands of specialized accelerators work together, moving enormous quantities of data through high-speed networks. The chips consume electricity. Cooling systems remove their heat. Pumps move water or refrigerant. Backup batteries and generators wait for the moment the grid fails. And unlike a steel mill, which can often slow production, the largest online services promise to be available every second of every day. Electricity is not merely an operating expense. It is the heartbeat of the product. The International Energy Agency estimates that data centers consumed about 485 terawatt-hours of electricity in 2025. By 2030, that figure could reach roughly 950 terawatt-hours, close to double in only 5 years. AI-focused facilities are expected to grow even faster, with their electricity use potentially tripling. That does not mean AI will consume all the world's power. Even by 2030, data centers are projected to represent around 3% of global electricity demand. But global averages hide the real problem. Data centers do not spread themselves evenly across the planet. They cluster around fiber networks, skilled workers, tax incentives, reliable water, and cheap power. In those places, a single new campus can place the demand of a city onto one local grid. Traditional data centers were already large, but artificial intelligence changed both the density and the rhythm of electricity demand. A modern AI rack can concentrate astonishing computing power into a few square meters. Connect hundreds or thousands of those racks, and the building becomes less like an office and more like an industrial plant. Training a frontier model can keep vast fleets of processors running for weeks. Serving that model to millions of users creates a second, permanent workload called inference. Then the products become more ambitious. Text becomes images. Images become video. Assistants become agents that reason through several steps, call tools, and perform tasks in the background. A single interaction may become more efficient every year, yet the number and complexity of interactions can grow even faster. This is the paradox at the center of the AI boom. Efficiency does not automatically reduce total energy use. Cheaper computation creates new demand. Better chips make possible products that nobody could afford to run before. Each generation saves electricity per task, while encouraging the world to perform billions more tasks. In 2025, electricity used by data centers jumped about 17%, according to the IEA. Global electricity demand grew only about 3%. The digital world was expanding far faster than the power system beneath it. Software companies are accustomed to moving at internet speed. A data center can be designed and built in a few years. A major transmission line may take much longer to approve, finance, and construct. Large transformers and gas turbines cannot appear with a software update. This difference in speed is creating collision. Developers may acquire land and chips, only to discover that a connection to the grid will not arrive when the building is ready. The IEA has warned that roughly 1 in 5 planned data center projects could face delays if energy bottlenecks are not addressed. The problem is not simply the annual amount of electricity. The grid must balance supply and demand in real time. AI training and model use can create large, rapid changes in load. Electricity networks designed around predictable homes, offices, and factories now have to absorb giant digital customers that may request hundreds of megawatts. The United States offers a preview. Data centers consumed about 4% of American electricity in 2023. A Department of Energy study projected that the share could rise to somewhere between 6, 7, and 12% by 2028. The range is wide because nobody knows how quickly AI demand, chip efficiency, and construction will evolve. But every scenario points in the same direction: more pressure. For technology companies, waiting years for grid access is not a minor delay. In the AI race, a late data center may mean a late model, lost customers, and billions of dollars of hardware sitting idle. That is why the AI competition is beginning to look like an energy competition. Technology companies are signing long-term power agreements, supporting new solar and wind projects, investing in battery storage, and exploring geothermal energy. They are also returning to a technology the digital industry once treated as old-fashioned: nuclear power. Nuclear plants can deliver large amounts of electricity around the clock with low operational carbon emissions. Existing reactors, restarted facilities, and future small modular reactors have all attracted interest from companies that need reliable power. But nuclear projects are expensive, politically difficult, and slow. They cannot solve every near-term shortage. Natural gas can be built more quickly and provide electricity whenever the wind falls or the sun sets. That reliability makes it attractive, but it also creates a climate contradiction. The same industry promising that AI will help solve humanity's problems may increase fossil fuel demand to keep its models online. Renewables will supply a large part of the new electricity, especially when paired with storage and flexible computing. Training jobs do not always need to run in exactly the same place or at exactly the same hour. If workloads move toward regions and times with abundant clean energy, the data center itself can become part of the solution. But flexibility has limits. Users expect an instant answer. Hospitals, financial systems, and critical infrastructure cannot simply pause because the weather changed. The future grid will need a mixture of generation, storage, stronger transmission, and smarter demand. The scale of spending reveals how seriously the industry takes the problem. The IEA estimates that 5 major technology companies invested more than $400 billion in 2025, with capital spending expected to rise sharply again in 2026. Much of that money is flowing into chips, buildings, networks, and the power systems required to run them. This creates a new map of economic power. For decades, the most valuable locations for technology were places with talent and venture capital. In the AI era, a region with available electricity, transmission capacity, water, and fast permits may become just as important. Utilities gain enormous new customers, but they also face dangerous choices. Build too little, and the AI boom moves somewhere else. Build too much, and ordinary customers could be left paying for infrastructure if projected demand never arrives. Communities face the same bargain. A data center can bring construction, investment, and tax revenue. It can also consume land, water, and grid capacity while employing relatively few people once construction ends. The question is no longer only whether AI creates value. It is who pays for the physical system beneath it and who receives the rewards. Investors should pay attention because electricity can shape the entire AI supply chain. Chip sales depend on data centers being powered. Cloud revenue depends on those facilities opening on time. Model companies depend on affordable computing. A bottleneck at the electrical substation can travel all the way to the valuation of a software company. There is an important twist. Artificial intelligence may help repair the system it is straining. AI can forecast electricity demand, detect failing equipment, optimize cooling, coordinate batteries, and find wasted energy inside buildings and factories. Better models and specialized chips can also reduce the energy required for each task. The future is not a simple line in which every AI query burns more power forever. But efficiency alone may not be enough. History shows that when a powerful technology becomes cheaper, society often uses much more of it. The question is whether clean generation and grid construction can accelerate as quickly as demand. This is why the winners of the AI era may not be determined only in research laboratories. They may be determined in control rooms, turbine factories, nuclear sites, and planning offices. Nations that can build reliable power quickly will have an advantage. Companies that secure energy without pushing unacceptable costs onto the public will have room to grow. The AI revolution was presented as a battle for algorithms. Then it became a battle for chips. Now, it is becoming a battle for electrons. The cloud was never weightless. Intelligence was never free. And as machines begin to think at planetary scale, one ancient question returns with new force. Who controls the power?